Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning, afternoon. So today is the second lecture for PDT 263 Plastic Processing. So our topic today is thermoset and thermoplastic processing, which is compression molding. So for the introduction, polymer processing is the manufacturing activity of converting raw polymeric material into finished product or desirable shape, microstructure, and properties. So, polymer processing involves pre-shaping, which is mixing and compounding. Second one is shaping, filling, filling the mold, and the last part is stabilization, which is solidification into a complex chemical reaction. So, this is the basic polymer processing involved. So it convert from the raw materials into finished product or desirable shape. So the definition for polymer processing is defined as the engineering activity concerned with operations carried out on polymeric materials or system to increase their utility. Primarily, it deals with the conversion of raw polymeric materials into finished product involving not only shaping but also compounding and chemical reaction leading to macromolecular modification and morphology stabilization and thus value added structure. So this is the value added structure. So this is the definition for polymer processing or plastic processing. So the importance knowledge of polymer processing or plastic processing is different type of polymer may attribute to the different nature abilities and characteristics. Current polymer products are not in a single or pure form. Current polymer products exist in variety of shape and geometry. So this important these three things, one, two, and three, you should know why the polymer processing is important. So this is the recap one. The classification of polymer, we can divide it into basically into three: thermoset, thermoplastic, and elastomer. So the thermoplastic elastomer is under the elastomer type. So the type of polymer are differentiated based on their molecular structure, chemical, or physical characteristic. So firstly, we go to compounding process. Compounding is the process of incorporating additive modifier into polymer for achieving uniformity on a scale appropriate to the quality of the article subsequently made from the compound. So the compounding involves two stages. One is mixing the materials. The second one is forming the mixture into pellet, sheet, rod, or lumps. Okay, for the compounding process, they have four basic methods of compounding process. First is dry mixer, which is ball milling, batch mixer, internal mixer, hot or cold to roll mill, and etc. Continuous mixer, filtration and filament winding, screw extruder, single screw or twin screw extruder. So this is the basic method for compounding process. Compounding process ni is more like mixing process, compounding. So dekat sini pun saya ada bagi tahu dah. This one pre-shaping. So this is the first step, pre-shaping, which is mixing and compounding. So end result and justification, we can get two types of compound specimen, which is bad compounded specimen and good compounded specimen. Okay, firstly kita tengok what is bad compounded specimen, yang boleh dikatakan kamu punya adunan tu tak cantik lah, bad. So first is agglomeration problem. And the second one is additive and filler not well dispersed. Agglomeration ni maksudnya you mix two types of material, and the first is the metric, your metric, which is your polymer, and the second one is a filler. So filler ni dia bergumpal. Maksudnya dia duduk dalam satu tempat, dia bergumpal lah. Dia bergumpal dalam satu tempat saja. So the one is agglomeration. And the second one is additive or filler is not well dispersed. Maksudnya macam sama macam agglomeration, cumanya dia macam ni kamu punya contoh. Okay. Ni kamu punya sampel, and then ni kamu punya filler. Filler kamu dia duduk je kat sini. Ada kat sini sikit, dekat sini sikit, dekat sini sikit. Dekat sini tak ada. Kat sini kosong. Kat sini kosong. Ini yang dipanggil tak well dispersed. Yang kalau agglomeration ni pula, dia agglomerate, dia bergumpal dekat satu tempat. Macam tu. Dia bergumpal. Ya. And then apa yang dipanggil good compounded specimen, which is well dispersed specimen. This is our target before proceed to next processing stages. So bila kita dah mix well, barulah kita go to the next process. So variety of polymer and polymer process, they have two basic types of polymer, thermoset and thermoplastic. Ini pun recap balik from last week. So a wide variety of plastic manufacturing process exists. First, extrusion, which is expansion, lamination, calendering, solid phase forming, thermal forming, casting, forming, spinning, molding, compression, transfer molding, blow molding, rotational molding, dan juga injection molding. Ini antara manufacturing punya proses. So this is the common polymer: ABS, acrylic, cellulosic, nylon 6, polycarbonate, polyethylene high density, polypropylene, polystyrene high impact, PVC polyvinyl chloride rigid. Ini last week punya kelas pun saya dah tunjuk apa yang macam jenis-jenis material, apa itu polymer, common polymer. So dia punya justifikasi kamu boleh tengok balik. ABS ni, ini dia punya properties. And then common shaping process for thermoplastic. This is as can be seen for acetal, ABS, acrylic. This is the common polymer that has been used. So what is the suitable process for this kind of polymer materials? So kita ambil satu ABS. So untuk compression molding, dia tak sesuai. Common shaping dia sesuai digunakan dalam injection molding, extrusion, rotational molding, blow molding, thermoforming, dan juga fogging, dan juga calendering ni. So this is the common polymer yang mana yang saya beritahu tadi, and then the common shaping process for thermoplastic for this kind of polymer. Sini boleh tengok contoh. Contoh kata kamu nak buat guna polystyrene. Kita tengok kat sini. Sini this is the polystyrene. So what kind of process that is suitable to use polystyrene as polymer for shaping process? So kalau tengok kat sini, injection molding, extrusion, rotational molding, blow molding, thermoforming, foam molding, reinforced plastic molding, dan juga calendering. So basically and normally untuk thermoplastic, mostly kesemuanya boleh menggunakan plastic injection molding. Kalau perasan kat sini lah. So this is the kind of the process, manufacturing process that can be used if you want to use polystyrene as a raw material. So and the second one is common shaping process for thermoset. So for the thermoset we have compression molding, transfer molding, injection molding, rotational molding, thermoforming, reaction injection molding, casting, form molding, reinforced plastic molding, and also laminating. So, kalau tengok perbezaan untuk thermoplastic is much more compared to the thermoset punya proses. So, kita ambil satu contoh yang selalu digunakan, which is epoxy and polyester. So, the process that is suitable for thermoset is rotational molding, reaction injection molding, casting, foam molding, reinforced plastic molding, and also laminating. So, ni common. Bukan ke semua. Contoh, filament winding, pultrusion, itu pun yang boleh digunakan for both juga. Thermoset boleh, thermoset dan juga thermoplastic. Okay. Ada yang tak dimasukkan lagi. So, this is the common shaping process. So, go for our topic today is compression molding. So, compression molding is a processing technique that combines forming the product along with simultaneous curing of the resin by applying pressure and usually heat. So, dua benda ni yang penting. Ada juga proses yang hanya menggunakan pressure only. Dekat compression molding ada juga dua jenis. Satu HIP, satu CIP. Hot isostatic pressing dan juga cold isostatic pressing. Dia ada CIP, HIP. So, sebab tu dia kata, by curing of the resin by applying pressure. And usually, dia ada perkataan usually. Maksudnya, sometimes ada yang proses menggunakan hot isostatic pressing dan sometimes ada proses yang menggunakan only the apply only pressure, not combined with heat. Basically, for the polymer, usually use heat with the pressure. So, this is the illustration for compression molding machine. This is the compression assembly. This is the heated platen. The upper one is heated platen. This is the male mold. Dia ada male and juga female mold. So, this is the material charge. This is the female mold. And then this is the ejector pin, knockout plate, hydraulic piston, and also hydraulic unit. This is the slide rod, guided pin, daylight opening, guide hole. So the principle for compression molding, they have 5 basic principles. One is charging a precise amount of molding compound into the bottom half of a heated mold. The second one is closing the mold half together to compress the charge, forcing it to flow and conform to the shape of the cavity. Third is heating the compound by means of the hot mold and let it flow completely, fulfill the mold. The next is cooling. Cooling is to stabilize the products. And the last part is opening the mold half and removing the part from the cavity. Okay, next is preheating of molding compound. In practice, the molding compound, which is powder or dough, is usually preheat before it is put into the mold. So, it can be used powder or dough. Preheating is usually done with infrared IR heaters, high frequency HF dielectric heating, such as microwave oven. The third one is radio frequency RF heating, convection heating in a hot air oven. So this is for preheat of molding compound. So preheating converts the molding compound into the uniformly softened material that flow cleanly and evenly when the mold closed. So basically, yeah. Okay, from the compression molding, when the mold is closed, upper and lower, male and female mold is closed. So this is the preheat convert the molding compound. So bila dia terbuka, masa terbuka tu dia tak melt lagi, dia tak softkan lagi dia punya material. So it also facilitate early flow in the mold, shorten the molding cycle and reduce the temperature difference between the feed and the mold. The practical advantage of preheat include better surface finish, minimize flow marks, reduce the pressure required for compression molding, improve electrical properties, and also article with thick section can be molded with less difficulty. So in compression molding, the workpiece, which is pre-shaped part, volume of powder, mixture of liquid resin and filler, is placed in the heated mold and is formed under pressure. So from the first figure, which is charge is loaded, this is the charge, which is your material. This is the cavity, punch, upper mold and lower mold. This is the knockout pin. Knockout pin ni nak memudahkan untuk kamu apply pressure dan juga nak keluarkan kamu punya sample. So the second figure is compress and cure. So this is we applied the pressure VF. So dekat sini lah tadi, bila dah close male and female mold, dia dah close dekat sini, baru dia matte and soften the materials, kamu punya charge ni tadi. Then the third part is eject and remove. So untuk remove, dia tarik balik pressure ni, male mold dia angkat naik atas, female, and then dia ini yang knockout pin, dia tolak sampel yang ni tadi untuk memudahkan untuk keluarkan sampel tadi. So this is a basic illustration for compression molding. This is the first figure is measured powder. Second one is mold closed under heat and pressure, and then eject, mold open, and you get the final product. So this is the parameter that you should be considered during the process of compression molding. The quantity of charged molding materials put into the mold. The second one is pressure of the molding process. Usually range of pressure is around 2000 to 3000 psi, which is 30.8 to 20.7 megapascal. So the third one is mold temperature. So the temperature range should be around 300 degree Fahrenheit to 375 Fahrenheit. So basically mold temperature it also depend on what material that you be used during that time. So and then the last one is cure time variable. Cure time variable is the period required to harden thermosetting material to partial and complete polymerization is called cure time. So this is the curing for the polymer. Okay, next they have three types of compression mold or mold closure. The first one is flash type. The second one is positive type. And the third one is semi-positive or horizontal flash and vertical flash. So this is the flash type, positive type, and semi-positive type. Kalau tengok beza dekat sini, kita boleh tengok flash type dia ada excessive ataupun flash yang yang membezakan dia adalah dia punya mole. Nama pun 3 types of compression mole. So basic compression yang sama tapi dia pakai mole yang berbeza. Okay, first kita tengok flash type. Sini upper mole, lower mole. This is the male mole and this is the female mole. And then this is your materials charging. So this is the horizontal flash that will, bila dia tekan, dia akan keluar dekat, lebihannya akan excessive flash akan terlebih keluarkan dekat sini. So flash type is a mole in which the mole face are perpendicular normal to the clamping action of the press, so that the higher the clamping force, the tighter the mole seam. It is the simplified version of semi-positive mole. The flash form the seal as it spew and rapidly cure at the mole parting line. It is the least expensive of the compression mole. The greatest disadvantage to a flash mole is that there is no restriction to the flow of material and no back pressure is built up in the molded part. So yang ni bila dia buat open, flash is open macam ni, dia tak boleh nak check balik pun. They have no restriction to the flow of material. Maksudnya dia tak boleh nak kawal yang lebihan, yang excessive flash kat luar tepi tu tadi. So the flash is free to flow horizontally with no restriction. Ini yang dimaksudkan bila dia open macam tu, dia tak boleh nak kawal. So the part will lack complete density, therefore may be inferior in strength and finish. The percentage of flash loss may be extremely high, thus costly is considered on the part basis. It is also difficult to maintain matching central line between the force upper mole half and cavity lower mole half. If the guide pins are worn out, the force and the cavity become mismatched. Ini antara dia punya disadvantage lah. Bila kamu contoh, okay, kamu letak charge tu, material kamu tadi kat sini. Okay, andai kata dia ada lebihan dan kamu apply pressure yang lebih. So bila dia tekan banyak, sampel kamu automatik akan jadi makin nipis. Dan excessive ni akan lebih terlebih keluar banyak lah. Sebab tu yang dia kata dia tak boleh nak control. Melainkan kamu put the exact amount of your material and pressure. Then the second type of mole is positive type. Sama juga, this is the male mole, upper mole, and female mole at the lower. So this is the part or your materials. This is the small gap. Kalau beza dengan flash tadi, dekat sini dia dah potong kat sini. Okay, nampak perbezaan antara positive type dengan flash type. So untuk positive type is a mold designed to trap all the molding material when it close. Maksudnya dekat sini bila dia tekan, dia dah tak boleh nak access keluar. Dia dah tak ada flash. Maksudnya tak ada lebihan. Excessive flash tu dah tak ada. So positive mold takes all the applied pressure. There is insufficient clearance to allow material to escape. Any variation in feed weight will give variation in thickness and density of molding. In general, positive mold is not favored. So it is generally used if the material is of height bulk or if the filler fiber are quite long. It also gives vertical flash. It is difficult to produce part with equal density if mold is multi-cavity. For this mold type, general flash escapement area or excessive clearance between force and cavity is required. So dia tak boleh nak keluar, tapi it will become another problem for the positive mold. Then this is the semi-positive type. The last type of mold is semi-positive. Upper mold, lower mold, This is your part. Kat sini yang membezakan dia ada horizontal line sikit, baru dia ada excessive. Yang ni separate flash. Berbeza dengan yang flash type tadi, dia terus keluar kat sini. So semi-positive type is a mole whose principle is as the two halves of the mole begin to close, the mole acts much like a flash mole. As the excess material is allowed to escape during loose fitting, plunger and cavity. As the plunger, this one, the plunger, this is the plunger. So as the plunger goes in further into the cavity, the mole becomes a positive mole with very little clearance, and full pressure is exerted on the material, producing a part of maximum density. This type of mole takes advantage of the free flow of material in a flash mole and the quality of producing dense part in the positive mole. So the majority of compression mole is semi-positive horizontal flash mole. Kebanyakan yang mole yang digunakan untuk compression digunakan semi-positive type. So this is the compression molding basic process for compression molding. Firstly, they use extruder. This is the last part. Okay, compression molding is the last process. So first extrude, sama juga extrude for mixing or compounding process using extruder, and then at the tin barrel ni kita masukkan fiber, continuous fiber. So and then this is the resin encapsulate fiber. Dimasukkan blender or mixer. Accumulator is to push after combine the material that have mixed or compound going through this one, and accumulator we push the material through the die. So this is the guillotine. Guillotine is the cutter. And then compression mold part is total force needed per part is determined by project area A, projected area, required cavity pressure for the resin rho A, pressure factor that account for depth rho, and depth in excess of the minimum amount, which is dE. So this is to calculate the force, total force that is needed for the part for compression molding. Then compression molding machine, total force that can be exerted is called press cavity. Machine rating, machine size rated in Newton or tons, determined by the area of the hydraulic ram and the hydraulic pressure in the line. So this is two types of compression machine. One is lab scale and the second one is industry punya scale. This is the lab scale and this one is industry scale. Nampak beza kecil dengan besar. So this is the compression molding versus injection molding. This is the differentiate between compression molding and injection molding. First is heated mold. All plastic material can be used. Long cycle times or minute. Can reach flash or with part. Low part complexity. No undercut. No sprue or runner. This is for flowing. Sprue and runner mostly we use in casting. They have sprue and runner. Excessive flash or material will go out at the sprue. So reinforcement material can be long. Maksudnya dia boleh guna pakai fiber, continuous fiber. Untuk injection molding, which is cool mold, thermoplastic material. Dengar yang beza, injection molding hanya thermoplastic, but for compression molding it can be used all plastic material. So untuk injection molding, they have short cycle time, only in a second. But compared to the compression molding, long cycle time, minutes. for injection molding can reprocess flash and waste part, which is compression molding, dia tak boleh. Untuk injection molding is high part complexity, undercut are possible, use sprue and runner, some reinforcement material possible, must be short. Untuk injection molding dia tak boleh pakai long fiber. So the space for loading the molding compound is large to minimize flash. The flash escape area is located on the force side for easy removal. This type of mold produce part having maximum physical strength. Another variation is semi-positive vertical flash. The flash is vertical, which may be removed more easily. This type of mold is quite expensive, since there are two areas between the force and the cavity that must fit perfectly. This type of mold will have mismatch problem. So this is the last type of mold that I have explained earlier, which is semi-positive flash mold. So they have 4 aspects that you should consider in compression molding process. Firstly is the proper amount of the material to fill the cavity when the mold half are closed. Maksudnya nilai charge ataupun material yang kamu nak guna. Contoh macam saya bagi contoh tadi, kalau kamu mold, dalam mold tu kamu letak terlalu sikit atau terlalu banyak. Kalau terlalu banyak, bila kamu apply pressure, dia akan jadi lebihan flash. Lebihan dekat luar mold ni kamu tadi. Kenapa pakai flash type punya mold. Dia akan lebihan. But, kalau material tak mencukupi, mold kamu besar dan kamu apply pressure, required, contoh kata kamu nak dapatkan sampel 3 mm. Tapi kamu timbang-timbang, okey, katakan untuk dapatkan 3 mm kamu masukkan berapa gram kat sini. Tapi sebab tak mencukupi, maybe kamu akan dapat below 3 mm dia punya size. Sebab tu first proper amount of material to fill the cavity is you should aspect that should be considered. So the second is determination of the minimum time required to heat the blank and the appropriate heating technique. Ini kamu kena ambil tahu before start the compression, you must know the minimum time to heat. Tadi ada yang saya tunjuk, saya terangkan pasal preheat the mold. So this is the things that you consider. The third one is the prediction of the force required to fill out the mold. This is pressure, force required ataupun pressure. Sama juga yang saya beritahu tadi. Kalau pressure terlalu kuat, nanti dia akan terlebih banyak yang keluar. And the last part is temperature of the mold decrease rapidly during curing. So yang ni yang diambil kira masa curing punya temperature masa curing. First preheat kamu punya mold, and the second one is temperature for during the curing process. So this is some kind of advantage from the compression molding. Equipment or mold and process cheaper than others. Great for large part, maksudnya kamu boleh buat dalam large part. Depend on kamu punya mold. Lagi besar kamu punya mesin, lagi besar kamu boleh buat. So it has minimum waste. Minimum waste ni kalau kamu gunakan proper ataupun jumlah yang diperlukan, macam force yang betul dan juga amount material yang betul. So minimum internal stress, adaptable to automatic process, which is simple process, dimensional accuracy, sebab dia kamu compress ikut mold kamu. So high volume output, which is cost saving, maximum number of cavity, high quality surface, complex part, warping and shrinkage minimized, fast cycle 1 to 5 minutes. And then the disadvantage of compression molding: no delicate pieces, not suitable for intricate shape, undercut, side draw, uneven parting lines, high initial investment, secondary operation. Dia memerlukan secondary operation, trimming, mold depth is limited, product consistency, large dimensional tolerance. So this is the consideration that you must consider. Sama juga yang tadi yang saya beritahu, 4 kind of things that you considered for the compression molding: mold heating, compression rate, maximum compression force, curing time, mold cooling rate, mold cycling rate. Ini curing time dengan mold cooling rate ni, how long until part can be removed from the mold. So this is the range of material that can be used for compression. Thermoset mostly bulk molding compound (BMC), sheet molding compound (SMC), unidirectional tapes, woven fabric, chalk strand, randomly oriented fabric, and preform. For the thermoplastic, which is pellet, sheets, and extruded. And for the elastomer, which is extruded punya material that can be used for compression molding. So this is the typical product from the compression molding, which is first automotive part untuk kenderaan, hoods, bumper, fender, spoiler, etc. And the second one is medical equipment, caps and plug to blood separation machine and ultrasound equipment. For the aerospace is electrical connector to guided missile. This is typical product. Kalau nak list out terlalu banyak, so this is the typical product that can be used from the compression molding. So this is also the common part, compression mold part. This is the mold. As can be seen, this is the mold and this is the final product. Ni yang untuk automotive-nya tadi, bumper, fender. And then this is the rubber compression. Sama, ini kamu punya mold. This is the mold. And then this is the final product. So it depends dekat kamu punya mold. Nak bentuk apa pun, semua depend dekat kamu punya mold. Okay. That's all for today class. So if you have any question, feel free to ask anything. Okay, thank you.